Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live refresher on quantitative aptitude brought to you by Talent Sprint. I hope all of you are in good health and I'm sure you are very happy with the recent notifications that have been released, right? We were just about digesting the SBI PO notification, and as expected the SSC CGL 2018 notification has also been announced in the last 2 days ago. So I'm pretty sure all of you have gone through the notification and you are excited about it, rightly so. All you have to do is leave no stone unturned, right? These are two really wonderful opportunities and I'm sure you can really do well if you prepare properly with the right study plan and then easily maximize your score in the examination. All right, so that's the update. I'm going to take up this session today on quantitative aptitude refresher, where we have some interesting questions chosen from various sources. It could be our own all India mock exams or practice tests, or it could be maybe one or two interesting questions that we have come across in the discussion forum. All right, so I am ready to start. I just want you all to confirm if we can start solving the questions or not. By the way, we have a session coming up tomorrow at 4 p.m. If you haven't checked the events calendar already, tomorrow at 4 p.m. we have a session on what is called the 75-day study plan for SSC CGL exam. Like what we did last year, right? Last week we had done a 60-day study plan for SBI PO, keeping in mind that SBI PO is scheduled in the first week of July. So similarly, we have a 75-day study plan session coming up for SSC CGL exam tomorrow at 4 p.m. So please make sure that you join us in that session and also invite your friends, because this is available to all. All right. I can see many of you have joined the chat and also acknowledge that we are ready to start, and I can get started. Shrikant Kumar, by the way, says please put CGL based tests. Well, Shrikant, don't worry. We will be starting daily tests on SBI PO and SSC CGL. I repeat, all of you make a note of the point that we'll be starting daily tests on SBI PO and SSC CGL. So I think for the benefit of all of you, what we have decided is, instead of publishing a test with just 10 questions on all the subjects, like currently what happens, we publish a 10 questions test on quantitative aptitude, a 10 questions test on reasoning, a 10 questions test on English language, then there is a 10 questions test on current affairs, there's a 10 questions test on quantitative aptitude for SSE, 10 question test on banking, and so on, which of course was useful. But now that two very important notifications have come up, we have decided to publish just 2 tests every day, but for the full section. So you may have a quantitative aptitude test for SBI PO with 35 questions. Similarly, you will have a SSC CGL reasoning ability, general intelligence and reasoning test with 25 questions. So you take one full section every day, one for SBI PO, one for SSC CGL. So by the time you go for your SBI PO exam, you must have taken 60 sections, 60 tests on different sections of SBI PO. Similarly, by the time you go for SSC CGL, you must have taken 75. Assuming there are 75 days left for the exam, you must have, unless the exam gets postponed, which is the usual case with SSC exams. So you'll have 75 section tests being made available on a daily basis, right? I mean, 1 test per day on 1 section. And we will stop the ongoing 10 questions test, right? So I think definitely going to be very, very helpful. Please keep practicing and taking these tests so that you are fully prepared when you walk into the examination hall. Anything else? Some of you have mentioned that I'm not getting the solutions for all India mock exam. I think there was a snag until a few minutes ago, but it has been fixed. You can check the solutions for the all India mock exam questions now. Don't go now. After the class is over, you can go back. You will find that the solutions have been added, right? It was just a simple glitch that took place, but solutions are now available. Okay. Honey Chaitu says the events calendar is not showing. Well, I'm not sure about that. Let the support team take care of it. Events calendar is blank is also what Girish Ahuja has found. Sorry about that, guys. I guess if you can clear the cache, you should find the events calendar, or open up the learning platform in a in the incognito mode, right? You will find the events calendar there. Yeah, I think all of you have liked the idea. I've got some great feedback already. Wonderful idea. So thank you for that. Believe us, guys, that we always work or strive hard to make your learning better, right? I know there were some challenges some of you had faced when we were moved from the old portal to new portal, but most of those have been ironed out. And in the next 1 week or so, you will find many more features getting added, right? So just give us some time. And in the meanwhile, use all the features that we have. Okay, somebody says I'm just looking at these queries because some of you have moved from the old platform to the new platform. So Vijay has mentioned that in the new platform we are not able to download the PDF from concerned topic in advanced level or and more category. So I'm not sure, maybe this is a issue there, actually an issue there. So I request our support team to please make a note of it. Don't worry, Vijay, we will enable the download of those workbooks as well, right? Like how you are able to download the basic questions workbook, you will be able to download the advanced level and more level workbooks as well. Give us a day or two's time, it will be fixed. We are sorry this was not in our notice, but thank you for bringing it to our notice. We will fix it as early as possible. Okay. Okay. Chalo, so we are good to start. I think a lot of feedback and suggestions there. Thank you, guys. Let me present the questions to you all. So, like I said, chosen questions from various sources. We can get started. Let me take up some independent questions before we move into a question on data interpretation that we have, right? Okay, so let me start with a not very complex one, but we found that many of you failed to get the right answer to this question. So presenting the first question to you all, this is based on averages and it's on your screens now. It says 20 persons went to a hotel for a combined dinner party. 14 of them spent rupees 80 each on their dinner and the rest spent rupees 5 more than the average expenditure of all the 20. What was the total money spent by them? It should not take much time. You have 1 minute for this. Your clock starts now. $16.30. I have got the first response from Kishore, who says it's 16.30. And sorry, I think the first response came in from Pavni, who's got option B as the answer, 16.42. Neeraj says it should be option A, 15.56. So while I'm disappointed that I've got only 3 answers so far, and each one of these responses here is different, I'm glad that I chose this question because you guys are not able to solve it. Different answers, A, B, none of these. Now there's some consistency. Most of you have got B. Samriddhi, Marishwari, Marishwari and Nilab. Then we have Bandana, Banashri, and others who've got option B, right? Good. Vijay has also posted the solution that he had followed. Option B, 1642.8 seems to be the most common response here. Without wasting any more time, I'm sure all of you have solved it already. And those who have not been able to get it have to work really hard and, you know, get to the speed. Otherwise, this speed is not going to help you. Okay? So let's take it up. Here we go. The question says 20 persons went to a hotel for a combined dinner party. 14 of them spent rupees 80 each on their dinner, and the rest spent rupees 5 more than the average expenditure of all the 20. What is the total money spent by them? Right? What is the total money spent by them? Options have also been given to us. So not a very complex one. You just have to frame the right equation, right? Let's assume that the average expenditure is A, right? Let's assume the average expenditure of all these 20 guys is equal to A. Now, what do we know? 20 persons had gone for this dinner party, right? 14 of them spent rupees 80 each. 14 spent rupees 80 each. So, I am trying to find out the total expenditure. What will be the total expenditure? Total expenditure is going to be 20 into A. Average is A, right? There are total 20 persons. So, total expenditure is 20 into A. This should be equal to what? 14 of these guys spent 80 each. So, 14 into 80. Plus remaining 6 guys. How much it is spent? 14 spent 80 each on their dinner, and the rest is what remains, 6 of them, right? Spent rupees 5 more than the average. 5 more than the average means what? A plus 5. Average is A. They've spent 5 more than that. So A plus 5. Who have spent 5 more than average? Remaining 6 guys, right? Rest here indicates 6. So 14 people spent 80 each. 6 people spent A plus 5 each. So 14 into 80 plus 6 into A plus 5. That's the equation. Total expenditure is 20 into A. The same can be equated to 14 into 80 plus 6 into A plus 5. Now, what is he asking us to find out? What was the total money spent by them? Total money spent by them. See, average is A. Total will be 20 into A. So, basically 20 into A is equal to what? This is one equation. One equation, and there is only one variable. What is that variable? A. So, solve for A and then find out what is 20 into A. Okay? Let's simplify this. What happens? See, if you see 20A, this is 6A, right? 20A minus 6A will be equal to 14A. 14A equals to what? 14 into 80, that is 800 plus 320, 1120. That's going to be 1120. And 6 into 5 is 30, right? 6A is already gone there. 6 into 5 is 30. 1120 plus 30, 1150. So basically 14A equals to 1150. We have to find out 20A is equal to what? Cross multiply and you will get your answer. That's it. Yes or no? From this equation, we have found 14A is 1150. 20A should be equal to what? Why are we calculating 20A? Because he's asking us to find out total money. Read the question carefully. They can also ask you to find out the average money spent. Average money spent will be A. Total money spent will be 20A. Sorry. So 20A is equal to what is the question here. Simplify this to get the answer. You getting it? Simplify this to get the answer. So this question mark here should be equal to, if you see, 1150 into 20 divided by 14. Calculation is your lookout. I'm sure you're working on your speed math, mental mathematics on a daily basis, because that's very, very important. So once you finish the calculation, you find out that the answer approximately comes out to be 1642.8. So option B is the answer. I am leaving the calculation to you all. Option B is going to be the answer, right? 1642.8. So very simple one. Cut down the number of steps that you write on paper. I think you should start working from this equation onwards. 20A equals to 14 into 80 plus 6 times of A plus 5, and then simplify. Okay? 1642.8, option B, true. Should we go for the next one? I'm sure there's no confusion. There's no confusion here. Option B. So all those who've got option A or 1630 and all should correct wherever they've gone wrong. Let me present the next question now. I think we're good to take up the next one. Yeah. The next question is on your screens now. This is based on simple and compound interest. See what it says. What is the compound interest on rupees 7 lakh for 3 years if the rate of interest is 5% for the first year, 8% for the second year, and 12% for the third year? It's a simple question on compound interest. The only difference is the rate of interest is not constant. Instead of a constant rate of interest, we have got 5% for first year, 8% for second year, and 12% for third year. We have discussed how to solve such questions in our simple and compound interest videos. So follow that concept and get the answer. You have 1 minute for this. Your clock starts now. Got it? Option B again. 1,89,056. Good. Yeah, I think many of you have got option B here. In fact, all of you have marked option B. So let's take it up. Enough time has been given here. Let's take this one up. The question here is, what is the compound interest on rupees 7 lakh for 3 years if the rate of interest is 5% for first year, 8% for second year, and 12% for third year? Right? So he's asking us to find out the compound interest on rupees 7 lakh. So this is the principal amount for 3 years. That's the time period, right? If the rate of interest is 5% for first year, 8% for second year, and 12% for third year. So P, T, R, all the three variables are given to you. All you have to do is do the compound interest calculation. Now you can follow the concept of percentages that we have discussed, right? You know that compound interest can be calculated using effective percentage, right? Compound interest here is going to be the effective percentage of all the three values. What are the three values? 5, 8 and 12. 5, 8 and 12. Do the effective percentage calculation. That percentage on the principal amount will give you the answer. You know what is effective percentage, right? Effective percentage is equal to A plus B plus AB by 100. A plus B plus AB by 100. Yeah. So let's do the calculation. You can choose values in any order. Let's take 5 and 12 first. So what happens? 5 plus 12 plus 5 into 12 by 100. So 5 plus 12 is 17. 5 into 12 is 60. 60 by 100 is 0.6. So 17 plus 0.6, 17.6 percentage. Right? I'm doing the effective of 5 and 12. You don't have to write all these steps in the exam. Just for the sake of clear explanation, I'm doing it. So we've got 17.6. So basically 5 and 12 can now be neglected. We have got 17.6 percentage. Now you have to take the effective of 17.6 percentage along with 8. What is the formula? Same formula. A plus B plus AB by 100. So 17.6 plus 8 plus 17.6 into 8 upon 100. Now see, this calculation has to be done. If you say I can't do this calculation, it's complex, then try the formula. Formula is even complex, even more complex, right? You have to use P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power of T minus P. Or rather in this case, you have to use P into 1 plus R1 by 100 into 1 plus R2 by 100 into 1 plus R3 by 100 minus P. You can try the formula. Formula are available to all of you. But this definitely is a better way in my view, right? I mean, these are the only two steps. Find out the overall percentage, then take that percentage on 7 lakh. You will get the answer. So anyway, the effective of 17.6 and 8 is going to be 17.6 plus 8 plus 17.6 into 8 by 100. Now do this calculation. 17.6 into 8, or basically 176 into 8. Multiply this. 176 into 8. You're able to follow. Don't get confused. 17.6 plus 8 is 25.6. That's very easy. How do you do this is the question mark here. Yeah. So 17.6 into 8, then divide by 100. So 17 into 8 plus 0.6 into 8. What is 17 into 8? That's going to be 136, right? 10 into 8, 80, 7 into 8, 56. 80 plus 56, 136. 0.6 into 8. See, 6 into 8 is 48. 0.6 into 8 is 4.8. So this is going to be 136 plus 4.8, 140.8. 140.8 by 100. You're getting the point? 17.6 into 8. 80 plus 56, 136 plus 4.8, 140.8. So this is 140.8. That divided by 100 will be 1.408. So overall it's going to be 17.6 plus 8 plus 1.408. Simplify. 17.6 plus 8 is 25.6. 25.6 and 1.4. 25.6 and 1.4 is 27. 27.008% actually. That's the exact calculation. You're able to follow. So this is the compound interest. This is the total compound interest. 27.008%. 27.008%. Of what? 27.00% of what? The principal amount. So your final answer, the compound interest is going to be, let's say we are doing an approximate calculation. I mean, options, if you observe, we can easily do an approximate calculation, right? I mean, 1,63,000, 1,89,000, 1,94,000, 2,01,000. There's a huge difference. Of course, with option, none of this is there, and when none of this is available in the options, you can't take chances. But I mean, do the calculation, full calculation. If you don't want to take a risk, you have to do the full calculation. So let me do an approximate calculation. 27% of what is that? 7 lakhs. 27% of 7 lakhs. What is 10% of 7 lakhs? 70,000. What will be 20%? 140,000. What will be 30%? See, 27% is like 30% minus 3%. Easy calculation, right? 27 is not 27. 27 is 30 minus 3. So 30% of 7 lakhs is 2.1 lakhs. 3% is 21,000. So 2 lakhs 10,000 minus 21,000 is 1,89,000. It is 1.89 lakhs. 1,89,000. Clearly option A, option C and option D are ruled out. Because 27 and 27.008, there's hardly a difference. Very, very small difference. So 1.89 lakhs is for sure. 1.89 lakhs, see, 1,89,000. It will be definitely more. The exact answer will be a little more than 1,89,000 because actual value is 27.008. And then if you see 0.008%, I mean, if you want to do a precise calculation, this is 0.008%, right? 0.008% of what? 7 lakhs. So this is like 0.008 divided by 100 into 7 into 1 lakh. So these two zeros will get cancelled. And this decimal and these 3 zeros will get cancelled. So what are we left with? 8 into 7, 56. So if you want a precise answer, it is 56 plus 1.89 lakhs, which is 1,89,056, option B. Right? So option B is the final answer. Please do not go by the length of the explanation or the number of steps that I've put on paper. Right? If you observe, many of these steps can be avoided. I mean, these are redundant steps. Some of these are very only for the sake of explanation. Like whatever I've written here, Ci equals to this part, or effective percentage formula, not required. Or effective of 5 and 12, not required. Effective of 17 and 6.8, 70.6 and 8, not required. Just play with the numbers. This calculation, and then this calculation, and then this calculation. I think these are the only 3 steps. You don't have to write on paper, right? I mean, you know that 0.008% of 7 lakhs is going to be 56. So don't waste your time putting steps on paper. The more you write on paper, the more time it takes. Okay? So I think it's a 45-second problem. It won't take more than 45 seconds. Option B, 1,89,056 is the final answer. All right. So that's the question on compound interest with varying rates of interest. Okay, 3 different rates of interest. Now Vijay's question is, can we calculate approximate answer? Why? Because there is no option near to 1,89,000. See Vijay, it depends. We cannot have a rule that you can do an approximate calculation mark 1,89,000 because exact answer can be, let's say, instead of 1,89,056, the exact answer may be 1,89,064. And if the examiner wants it to be really tough, wants to make it tough for you, the correct answer may be 1,18,064, which is option 5, none of this. Option B is 1,89,056. Now most of us may believe that 1,89,000 is the right answer. So I mean, is the closest answer, so option B is correct. See, from the first 4 options, definitely option B is the answer. But when you consider 5th option into, if that comes into consideration, then it becomes a question mark. Yeah. So you should be taking those chances. If you are ready to take that chance, like for example, if only 2 minutes are left for the exam, let's say, I'll not do the complete calculation. In fact, even if you do the complete calculation, you will know 1,89,056 is the correct answer. But in case, let's say you don't want to do, whether you want to do the full calculation or not, depends on how much time is available with you, right? Depends on how you have performed so far in the examination. So all these factors will come into place. Yeah. Should we go for the next one? Let me present the next question to you all. Next question. This again has been chosen from the All India mock exam conducted on 5th of May. This last weekend, right? 5th and 6th of May. So what annual payment will discharge a debt of rupees 10,260 due in 5 years, the rate of interest being 4% per annum? We have solved such questions in the past. I'm sure if you have watched those videos, you'll be able to solve this quickly. I'll give you 1 minute to try this. Okay. What annual payment? This has been chosen from the All India mock exam conducted on 5th and 6th of May. What annual payment will discharge a debt of 10,260 in 5 years, the rate of interest being 4% per annum? There is actually a formula available to solve such questions. So if you remember the formula by heart, just substitute the values and get the answer. Otherwise, doing it conceptually also will not take much time. Dipankar says, shall I write my doubt at the end of the session? Dipankar, if there is a question that you want me to solve, I think the only way is to post it in the discussion forum, right? Please post your questions only in the discussion forum. If there is anything else, general or generic, you can ask here. Done? Oh, I'm sorry. Looks like there was some problem with the audio. What's the formula is what some of you have asked me, right? I think Divya and Dushyant have got 2050 as the answer. In fact, Sneha, Ravi Shankar, Kiran, Vidyarajan, Sugeta, Shrikant. Oh, all you guys have got option E, 2050. I see. Shubham has got 1900. Some of you want me to tell the formula. Formula is available, right? Option C. So I think the confusion is between option C and option E. Most of you have got option E, 2050. Only a few think the answer should be 1900. I'll wait for maybe 30 more seconds. You guys have to understand the question properly. And then give me the answer. Those who have solved and got 1900 as the answer, can you help your friends with the formula? In case you have used the formula. Because I think many of your friends are not aware of what the formula is. So those who all are aware of the formula, why don't you just put it up? Neeraj and Anjane and Preeti or Preet have also got 1900. So I think, yeah, it's either 1900 or 2050. What is correct is what you have to figure out. But I'm waiting for somebody to mark the formula here. Shall we take it up? Okay, Bhanu has posted the formula for all of you. 100 into A divided by 100t plus R into t minus 1 into 2. Bhanu, I guess you forgot to put by 2 there. R into t minus 1 by 2. Yeah, let's take it up. Let's take it up. So thank you, Bhanu, for posting the formula. I'm sure others have also use the same formula, right? 100 into A, where A is the amount, divided by 100t plus RT into t minus 1 by 2. Okay, here we go. This question is on annual payment, right? Or what is called the equated annual installments or equated monthly installments. So what does the question say? What annual payment that will discharge a debt of rupees 10,260 due in 5 years, the rate of interest being 4% per annum? Is a simple question, right? What will be the annual payment that can discharge a debt of what? Rupees 10,260 due in 5 years. You have to understand this word due here plays a very important role. Due in 5 years. This amount is due in 5 years. And the rate of interest, the reckoning rate of interest, meaning the current rate of interest, is 4% per annum. Options given are 1850, 2000, 1750, 2050 and 1900. I'm sure many of you have got option E as the answer, right? Option E, 2050 as the answer, because what you have simply done is 10260. If I have to give in 5 years, in 5 equal installments, I should divide by 5. So 10260 divided by 5. This gives you 2000. 2052. Now, since no other option is close to 2052, you thought option E, 2050, which is very close, should be the answer. Absolute nonsense. If this is what you have done, please get your basics right. This calculation will not work, and for this you will not be awarded 1 mark in the exam. If you just have to divide the given amount by 5 to get the answer, you are under a wrong impression. Absolute nonsense. You got to understand this whole concept. For that's the reason I said this is due in 5 years. The word due is important. Okay. So what does it mean? What annual payment, meaning what equal payments every year that you make, will discharge? Discharge meaning will cover a debt of 10,260. Meaning you have 10,260 rupees taken from someone, and you are supposed to give it back in 5 years. After 5 years, you understand? Today you have borrowed, you will give it back in 5 years. The rate of interest being 4% per annum. The rate of interest being 4. This is the current rate of interest, or what is called the reckoning rate of interest, right? So the rate of interest is 4% per annum. The amount that you have borrowed, which is due on you, is 10,260, and this is to be given after 5 years. So what should be the equal installment? What should be the equal installment? Now, understand the concept that in this case, if I pay certain amount, let's say if I pay 2,000 rupees at the end of first year, I have to pay for 5 times, right? I'll pay 5 installments basically. If it is due in 5 years, I'll pay 5 installments, right? So there's a timeline. This is the 0th year. This is when I have borrowed. I have borrowed how much? 10,260. I'm supposed to give it after 5 years. So this is first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year, right? First year, second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. So what came to me at this point of time is 10,260. I'll pay it back in 5 installments. So this is outgoing. This is incoming. This is outgoing in 5 installments, 5 equal installments. Let's say I pay an amount of, I pay E every year, equal amount every year. The point to be noted is the rate of interest is 4% per annum. 4% per annum. The current rate of interest is 4% per annum. And by the way, also understand that 10,260 is due in 5 years, meaning I am supposed to pay this 10,260 at this point after 5 years. Here, basically 10,260, the total amount of 10,260 is to be returned at the end of 5th year. Not that I have borrowed now, whether I have borrowed now or in the past, whatever, I have to return 10,260 at the end of 5 years. So instead of paying 10,260 in one shot at the end of 5 years, I'll pay equal installments every year. The point to be noted here is whatever amount I have paid at the end of first year. See, I was supposed to pay the total amount after 5 years at this point, at the end of 5th year. I paid some portion in the first year itself. Now this amount E will attract interest for 4 years. Instead of giving this to the lender, I am the borrower. I will give E rupees to the lender. But the point is, instead of giving the amount to the lender, if I keep the same amount in bank, the bank will pay me 4% per year for the next 4 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means this E will get interest for how many years? It will attract interest for 4 years. Yes or no? If I put in the bank. So what I will tell the lender is, Baba, I am giving you some amount in advance. And whatever interest I get in 4 years, that interest should be adjusted in my principal amount. Similarly, I'll give another installment at the end of second year. But then this installment that I'm giving at the end of second year will attract interest for 3 years, 1, 2, and 3. See, the first installment attracted interest for 4 years, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The second installment, this second installment of E will attract interest for how many years? 3 years. 1, 2, and 3, these 3 periods. Which means if I keep this amount in the bank today, at this point of time, for the next 3 years, the bank will pay me 4% per annum. So I'll get interest for 3 years. So you should adjust this interest amount also in your principal amount, right? You can't say this is given only towards the principal. Whatever interest I acquire in 3 years should be adjusted in the principal amount. Similarly, this interest, this equated installment that I've paid at the end of 3 years will get me interest for 2 years. I'll get interest for 2 years on this, in this year and in this year. This installment, the 4th installment that I pay, will get interest in the 5th year, right? I am paying you at the end of 4 years, at the end of 4th year. But in the 5th year period, instead of giving it to you, if I had put this in the bank would have paid me one interest. One interest meaning interest for 1 year. So why are you not adjusting it? The last installment that I pay you will not attract any interest. Why will it not attract any interest? Because you were anyway supposed to give me the amount at this point of time. You're not doing me a favor by giving this installment. I did a favor by giving the first 4 installments because those attracted interest. So you should cover this interest also. You understand? Each tick mark here indicates the interest that I'm getting. You're able to follow. The 5th one will not get any interest. So that's the concept of discharging a debt. What you are doing in this case, 10,260 by 5 is dividing 2050. But this is foolishness. If you are paying your amount back in this fashion, you are a fool. Because this 2050, if I give in the first year, right, it will get me interest for 4 years. And that interest you have forgotten. Stupidity. Similarly, the same 2050 in the second year, if you give to the person, 3 years interest you have forgotten. So I will not consider this as the value. I will pay lesser. So what is that actual amount is the question here. What is that actual amount is the question here. So one way to solve this, I mean, this is the concept. What I've explained to you so far is the concept. I'm sure all of you have understood that 2050 cannot be the answer. Answer should be less than 2050. Answer should be less than 2050. Now, how do you arrive at the actual answer is the question. One is use the formula. If you can remember the formula. What is the formula? The equated amount. The equated amount is going to be what? The equated amount is going to be 100 into the amount that you have borrowed, the principal amount, divided by 100t, which is t is the time period, plus r into t minus 1 by 2. You can use the formula. I mean, if I remember the formula correctly, this is what the formula is. So my equated installment should be 100 into p divided by 100t plus r into t minus 1 by 2, where this is the principal amount. This t is the time period, 5 years. And rate is whatever, 4% per annum. All 3 are given to you, just substitute and you'll get the answer. So that's how you use the formula. But then let's say you don't remember the formula. You've forgotten the formula in the exam and you want to solve it. How will you solve it? This concept is known to you, right? That's the reason the formula is not important. More than the formula, what happens behind the formula is important. And what happens behind the formula is this. So if you observe, how will I do the calculation? I have to adjust 10,250. I have to discharge 10,260. So this 10,260 is equal to, look at this, E plus, how many times will this get the interest? 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? 4 times. 4 years basically. This E will attract interest for 4 years. That's what we have done, right? 4 years. How much per year? 4% per year. So 4 into 4, 16%. Every year I'll get 4%. So 4 into 4, 16%. 16% of what? E. This is what actually is the total worth of what I pay in the first year. What I actually pay is only E, but its worth over a period of 5 years will become E plus 16% of E. Plus, what happens? Second installment, E. This second installment will get interest for how many years? 3 years. 1, 2 and 3. 3 years. Each year 4%. So in 3 years 12%. 12% of E. Plus, third installment, E. It will get interest only for 2 years. 8%. 8% of E. Plus, fourth installment, E. It will get interest for how many years? Only 1 year, right? Fourth installment will get interest only for 1 year. How much is that? 4%. In 1 year, I will get only 4% of E. And the fifth installment is just E. I will not get any interest here. So 10,260 is equal to this. E plus E plus E plus E plus E, 5E. So 10,260 is equal to 5E. All those E's have been considered. Now add the total interest. 16% plus 12%, 28% plus 8%, 36% plus 4%, 40%. So 5E plus 40% of E. 40% of E is like 0.4E. So basically 10,260 is equal to 5.4E. So the equated installment, yearly installment will be 10,260 divided by 5.4. Calculation is your lookout. It comes out to be 1,900 rupees. Remember, look at the difference. Here you divide by 5. Those who did 10,260 by 5, they divide into 5 parts. But here we are dividing into 5.4 parts. I'll attract a lot of interest, right? So my per installment value comes down. So it's not 2050, it's 1900, which is option C. Option C. Now, please do not go by the length of the explanation, right? Explanation took a lot of time because, of course, it was an explanation, right? When you solve it in the exam, either you will use the formula, this is the formula, apply the formula if you can remember it. I usually don't advise learning the formula by heart, right? Let's assume you have forgotten the formula. Do this calculation. This calculation wouldn't take so much of time. Because I wrote for all the 5 years separately, it has taken so much time. When you do it, you should just write 10,260 equals to 5e, 5 installments 5e, and understand this 40% calculation has to be done. This 40% calculation is what is RT into T minus 1 by 2. How do you do this? First year I'll get it for 4 years, then 3 years. See, there are total 5 years, right? So in the first year I'll get 4 interest on, after the first installment I'll get interest for 4 years, then 3 years, then 2 years, then 1 year. So 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 10. 10 years I'll get interest. 10 into 4% per annum, 40%. That's how you do it. So 5e plus 40%, meaning 5.4e. That's it. Let me change the value and explain this to you. For example, instead of 5 years, let's say, let me use a different color pen to explain this to you. Instead of 5 years, let's say if it is 6 years. What happens? How will you do it? Same. If it is 6 years, it will be 6e plus. Understand, in the first year, at the end of first year when I pay, I'll get interest for how many years? I'll get interest for 5 years. I'll get for 5 years. And then after that, it will decrease every year, right? So 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 till you get 1. How much is that? 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 12 plus 2, 14 plus 1, 15. 15. 15 into how much per year? 4% per year. 15 into 4% of E. 15 into 4 is 60. 60% of E. So 6E plus 60% of E. This will be equal to 6.6E. What is 6.6e? 6.6e is equal to whatever the total total principal amount is, 10,260. 10,260. That's it. So can you not do this calculation? You don't have to remember any formula. Just the simple calculation. 7e plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 into 1, 2 plus 1 into whatever the rate of interest is. What is this 4? This is 4% coming from here. This 4% has been used here. You understand? If it is 6, multiply by 6. If it is 4.5, multiply by 4.5. As simple as that. So don't have to remember the formula also. You don't have to remember the formula. Okay? 1900, option C is the answer. I hope all of you have understood this concept. Very, very important concept. And by the way, also make a note that this is a simple interest case. So it's easy. This is a compound interest case also. Here, what are we doing? We are saying my first installment will attract interest for 4 years. This interest is not attracting interest. If the interest also gets interest, then it will become a compounding case. I'll have to pay further lesser amount. Installment will become lesser than 1900. You're able to follow. What have we done here? At the end of 1 year, I am paying you 1900 rupees. This 1900 rupees will get interest for 4 years. What interest? Simple interest. But if it's a compound interest, so at the end of second year, 1900 will get an interest of some value, let's say I. At the end of third year, I will earn interest not only on 1900, but also 1900 plus the interest of 1900 in the second year. And similarly third year, and then fourth year, and then fifth year, and then second installment, and third installment, and fourth installment. So that becomes a complex process, compounding process. There, breaking it up like this will not help. There you better remember the formula. We have discussed those type of questions as well. Videos are available. You can just check it up. Learn the formula, or there you have to use the compounding process basically. Okay. So that's the explanation. If you have any queries, you can ask immediately. I don't want to proceed to the next question till you are clear with this. Right? I'll wait for a few seconds and then we will take up the next question. Understood? Okay. I have got some feedback here that the explanation was clear and nice. Thank you guys for feeding me back with that. If there is any confusion, please let me know, or if you have understood, even then let me know so that I can proceed. There are not many comments here. Nandini says, thank you, but I didn't understand your concept. Nandini, I think watch this video once again. This will anyway get added to your account in 24 working hours, right? We'll add this video back. So watch this once again. But before that, you should be thorough with the concepts of simple and compound interest. If you are not aware of simple and compound interest, then it will be a little difficult to follow this. So first go through simple and compound videos, and then this is a high level concept, basically an advanced concept of discharging a debt. Yeah, I can explain once again, but it will take a lot of time, and I usually explain very boringly and in a lengthy way, right? I mean, that's what I have learned from the feedback that I get. So I don't want to repeat and waste all of our time here. We'll move to the next one. You watch the recorded video. I'm sure you'll be able to follow it. See, I've already got a feedback from one of your friends saying that it uses a lot of time. I agree. On the other hand, we have 3-4 of you who want me to explain it once again, which I'm not going to do because that's really time consuming. You guys can watch the video. See, the best part is you have access to all these videos, right? So you can watch it again and you should be able to follow. Let's take up the next one. I'm jumping to some questions that were asked in the, or maybe let me take a question on data interpretation. Data interpretation. This was asked in the All-India mock exam conducted in the month of April, right? I think April 28, 29th, All-India mock exam. Okay. So interesting question. We'll quickly look at the data, then I'll present the questions to you all. And after that, we shall move to some more questions from discussion forum. So the data is on your screens now. Please study this, understand this carefully, and then we shall take up the questions. So the line graph shows the percentage of discount offered on the marked price of 5 articles in discount seasons by dealer A and dealer B respectively. Got it? Achha, let me quickly explain the data and then present the questions to you all. So here we go. This question here is on data interpretation. Look at what it says. Study the following line graph carefully and answer the questions given below. So the line graph here shows the percentage of discount offered on marked price of 5 articles in discount seasons by dealer A and dealer B respectively. So the line graph here basically shows percentage of discount. It's very, very important to understand the data carefully, right? Percentage of discount on marked price of 5 articles by dealer A and dealer B respectively. So what are the 5 articles? Cake, toffees, pastries, biscuits and chocolates. The y-axis is percentage of discount from 0% to 40%, right? And 2 dealers, dealer A and dealer B. The line in green shows discounts offered by dealer A and the line in blue shows the discounts offered by dealer B. And simple, directly the percentages are marked to us. Like for example, the discount offered on the marked price of pastries by dealer B. So pastries, dealer B, discount offered is 12%. 12% on what? The marked price. Discount generally is on the marked price. Here also it's on the marked price. The discount offered by dealer A on toffees is how much? Dealer A is the line in green, toffees here 32%. So 32% is the discount offered on toffees by dealer A. Okay. So that's the data, very simple. Let me present the questions to you all. And here's the first one, the first question. Try it out quickly. I'll give you 1 minute per question. Let me know once you're done so that we can take it up. Answers have come in. Option B is what Dipankar, Milan and Preet have marked. Girish says it should be option E, can't be determined, whereas we have Pavani and Divya who have got option D, 14.27. Sorry, 14/2/7. 14/2/7. All right, so confusing. I thought it's an easy one. I'm glad when I find you guys get confused. Now, don't take me wrong. I'm not glad that you are going wrong, but I'm glad with the fact that I chose this question. Can't be determined is also one of the responses by some of you. Let's look at the solution now. So here we go. Read the question. It says, if the discount offered on the marked price of cakes by dealer A makes it to be sold on its cost price, then find out the loss percentage in the same article by dealer B on the same marked price. Understand, what are we referring to? We are referring to cakes by dealer A. Cakes by dealer A. Discount offer is 20%. He says if the discount offered on the marked price of cakes by dealer A makes it to be sold on its cost price. Now this is important. By offering the discount, how much is the discount? 20%. By offering the 20% discount on the marked price of cakes by dealer A, he sells it on the cost price. Meaning the selling price is equal to cost price. He makes it to be sold on the cost price. What does this mean? Selling price is equal to cost price. That's the most important part. So for dealer A, the selling price of cakes is equal to the cost price. By offering this 20% discount on the marked price, he gets the same selling price as cost price. Meaning what? Let's assume the cost price for dealer A. Cost price Let's assume the cost price for dealer A on cakes is rupees 100. Okay, cost price is 100. What will be the selling price? 100. Cost price is equal to 100. Discount is equal to 20%. Selling price is also equal to 100. This 20% of what? Of marked price. Discount is 20% of marked price. You know that if the discount is 20% of marked price, the selling price should be 80% of marked price. Yes or no? This is a concept that we have discussed in profit and loss. I am not going to stress on that, right? All of you should know that concept. That if the discount is 20%, selling price is 80%. Both discount and selling price are calculated on marked price. So 20% discount on marked price implies selling price is 80% of marked price. But then I know that selling price is equal to cost price. So selling price should also be 100, same as cost price. But this 100 can be equated with 80% of marked price. So what is the marked price? The marked price here will be 100 by 80 into 100. It comes out to be 125. This is the most important part. We have to find out what the marked price is. And you can do this calculation mentally also. While I have put pen on paper to explain the steps, this is a very simple calculation. See, marked price is 125. What is 20% of 125? 20% is 1/5. 1/5 of 125 is 25 rupees. So 125 minus 25, it makes it 100. Selling price is equal to 125 minus 25. So selling price becomes cost price. Yes or no? When the marked price is 125, I get a 20% discount on this. 20% discount is what? 20% of 125 is 25. Meaning selling price is 125 minus 25. 100. So first part is done. I know that the marked price is 125. Now, find out the loss percentage on the same article by dealer B. Same article is cake. Dealer B, the discount he is giving is 30%. On the same marked price. Now let's talk about dealer B. This is all dealer A's calculation. Now dealer B. Same marked price. Marked price is 125. Discount is how much? 30%. 30% of what? 125. 30% of 125 is 37.5. So what will be the selling price? Selling price is marked price minus discount. 125 minus 37.5 is 87.5, which means he's making a loss. How much is the loss? 12.5%. See, cost price will remain the same. Cost price is 100. Here also the cost price is 100 only. The cost price will not change. You're able to follow? The cost price will not change. Cost price was 100 only. Marked price also is same as the dealer A, 125. But the discount, this fellow gives 10% more discount. 10% more discount. 10% more discount meaning 10% loss actually. That is 12.5. 10% of 125 is 12.5. Or just do this calculation. 30% of 125 is 37.5. Marked price minus discount. Marked price minus Discount 37.5 gives me 87.5, which means what I bought for 100 rupees, I'm selling for 87.5 rupees. So how much am I losing? 12.5 rupees. 12.5 rupees for 100 rupees is 12.5 percentage. Option B is the answer. Option B will be the answer. All right. Quickly tell me if you are confused or if you have any problem here. Again, like I said, I'll not be explaining it in full, but if there's any conceptual clarity that you need, I'll make it clear, or we can proceed to the next one. Quick. Moria seems to have joined the session just now. He says, good evening. Good evening, Moria. You're too late. You're late by almost 70 minutes now. The timing is 6 to 8, by the way. Yeah, so if you're all clear with this, I would like to move to the next one. Please do not go by the length of the explanation, as always been my standard statement, because I'm explaining. So that's not the time it will take to solve. And cut down the number of steps. Mental math is very, very important. Next question is what some of you have asked for, so let me present that to you. Next question on your screens now. The cost price, same data. This time he says the cost price of biscuits is 50% more than that of pastries. The selling price of biscuits is what percentage more than selling price of pastries of dealer A if both the articles are marked 60% above the cost price. Quick. Simple one, should not take much time. You have 1 minute, your clock starts now. Done? Quick. %, 75% are two of the responses that I've got. Somebody says, please show the slide ones. Are you not able to see the slide? I am on the slide only, right? Okay, so enough confusion created now. 70, 75 and 80, all three have been marked. Let's take it up. So here's the question. The cost price of biscuits is 50% more than that of pastries. Let's solve it here itself. The cost price of biscuits is 50% more than that of pastries. So let's assume the cost price of pastries is 100. The cost price of biscuits is 150. This part is done. You don't have to revisit this statement. Cost price of biscuits is 50% more. So if pastries is costing 100, biscuits will cost 150. The selling price of biscuits is what percent more than the selling price of pastries of dealer A? The selling price of biscuits is what percent more? X is what percent more than Y. Remember, X is what percent more than Y? X minus Y by Y into 100. Very, very important concept of percentages. This is X. Selling price of biscuits is what percent off? Is what percent more than the selling price of pastries. So X is what percent more than Y? X minus Y by Y into 100. So first of all, you have to find out X. And then you have to find out Y. And then do the calculation. If both the articles are marked at 60% above the cost price. Both articles meaning what? Pastries and biscuits are marked 60% above the cost price. Now look at this. Cost price is 100. What will be the mark price of pastries? 160. Why? Because it is marked 60% above the cost price. What is the mark price of biscuits? It will be 240. Don't ask me how. It's a mental calculation that you have to do. 60% of 150 is 90. 60% of 150 is 90. 150 plus 90 is 240. Now, come to the discounts. We are talking about dealer A. Dealer A is the line in green, right? Biscuits and pastries. Biscuits may dealer A gave 10% discount. Pastries may he gave 25% discount. So discount on pastries, how much is it? 25%. Discount on biscuits, how much is that? 10%. Discounts are always on the mark price. So what's the discount value? Or let's directly calculate the selling price value. How much is the selling price? Selling price is going to be 75%. If the discount is 25%, selling price will be 75%. Of what? Of the marked price only, always. Similarly, what is the selling price of biscuits here? Discount is 10%, selling price will be 90%. 90% of what? The mark price of biscuits. Do the calculation. 75% of 160. 90% of 240. Now 75% of 160 is 120 rupees. Selling price of pastries is 120. Selling price of biscuits, 90% of 240. 90% of 240 will be 216 rupees. Now the question, come back to the question. So X, selling price of biscuits. How much is X selling price of biscuits? 216. Is what percentage more than Y? Selling price of pastries, 120. How much more? Almost 100% more. See, 120 has become 240. How much more? Close to 100% more, right? Yes or no? 75% of 160. I mean, not almost 100%, meaning close to that, right? Do the calculation. X is what percent more than Y? X minus Y by Y into 100. Denominator is very, very important. X minus Y, 216 minus 120 is 96. 96 divided by 120. X minus Y by Y into 100. How much is that? 80%. Very clearly. 96 upon 120 is 80%. So 80% more is the answer. Option C. Again, all these are simple calculations. In fact, many of these are numerical values given in the question itself, right? 100, 150 is assumptions. I mean, 60%, 50% more, so 100 and 150. Very quick. 60% more, so mark prices. Discounts are given in the data itself. So that's like a step which I'm rewriting from the data. Selling prices have to be calculated. Don't write this step, in fact. 75% of MP, 90% of MB is not required. Directly calculate the selling prices. And then do this calculation. So I think again a 1 minute problem, not more than that, right? Quick. How did you find this? Easy, difficult, very easy? Can I go to the next one? Should I go for the next one? Quick. 7:15 already. Easy. All right. Let me move to the next one. The next question on your screens now. Toffees are marked 50% above their manufacturing cost. Dealer B makes 20% profit on their purchase price by selling the article. Calculate the profit percentage of the manufacturer who sells the article to the dealer. This should be manufacturer. I'm sorry about this typo. Calculate the profit percentage of the manufacturer who sells the article to the dealer. The time starts now. Done? Alright, 15, 20 and a variety of answers have come in. Let's solve this now. Here we go. Toffees are marked 50% above their manufacturing cost. Manufacturing cost is nothing but the cost price, right? So cost price, let's say, is 100. Marked price is 150. Done. No brainer, right? This part is done. Toffees are marked 50% above the manufacturing cost. Dealer B makes 20% profit on their purchase price by selling the article. Dealer B makes 20% profit on their purchase price by selling the article. Now dealer B, and we are referring to toffees. Dealer B toffees. Dealer B is the line in blue, 8%. So discount is how much? 8%. Just make a note of it so that we are clear with the graph part, right? 8% is the number that we're looking at from the graph. So dealer B gives a discount of 8%. He makes a profit of 20% on their purchase price by selling the article. He makes a profit of 20% on their purchase price by selling the article. Okay. Now at what price is he selling the article? Okay, hold. There is a twist in the question. All of you have to pay attention. I think these are wrong numbers. Why? Toffees are marked 50% above their manufacturing cost. It's not their cost price. It's manufacturing cost. Cost price is different. Remember, you understand? The manufacturer. Let me just clear it up and explain this. Right? We are looking at 8% discount that is given here. Right? There is a manufacturing cost. Right, there's a manufacturing cost. That manufacturing cost, that is sold to the dealer, which becomes his cost price. Right, on that cost price, he gets some profit and gets the selling price accordingly. And actually, the cost price was pumped up, what is called a marked price. Then we have what is called a marked price. You understand? So marked price pay, you give a discount. This is marked price. On marked price, you give a discount, you get selling price. Selling price, there is some profit involved. That removal of that will give you cost price. On cost price also, see, the manufacturer has made some profit, right? Like the dealer, the cost price versus selling price is between the dealer. This is dealer's values. Dealer's cost price, dealer's selling price. So that's where he makes the profit. This is manufacturer's this thing. This is manufacturer, right? The one who actually made the toffee. He has got some cost. He sold it at some value, which becomes the cost price for the dealer. So there also he makes some profit. So read the question carefully. This is very, very important, right? Toffees are marked 50% above their manufacturing cost. This cost. 50% above the manufacturing cost, not 50% above the cost price. Generally, when we look at the marked price, right? When we mark up some values, we mark it up on the cost price. But this time, you have to mark it up on the manufacturing price. Manufacturer ka manufacturing cost, and there is a selling price, which becomes the cost price for the dealer. Dealer's cost price, dealer's selling price. And of course, there is a marked price here. Discount on which is given to get the selling price. So read it carefully. Toffees are marked 50% above the manufacturing cost. Dealer B makes a profit of 20% on the purchase price. This purchase price here nothing but the cost price. Yes or no? This purchase price here is nothing but the cost price. This manufacturing cost is nothing but the manufacturing price. These are two different things. By selling the article. Calculate the profit percentage of the manufacturer. Calculate the profit percentage of the manufacturer, of the original person who sells the article to the dealer. Who sells the article to the dealer. Okay. So understand. Let's assume the manufacturing cost is 100. So there is a manufacturer and there is a dealer. Right. Manufacturing cost and there is a cost price. And there is a selling price. I'm just doing this drama so that all of you can follow it easily, right? And then there is a marked price. Manufacturing cost, cost price, selling price, marked price. Between these two is the discount. Selling price and marked price, between these two there is a discount. Between cost price and selling price there is a profit, right? We actually have to find out what is this profit. This is the question, right? Find out the profit percentage of the manufacturer. What is the profit percentage? Here is the question. This is the question mark that we have to find out. This profit is known to us. See, the dealer made a profit of 20%. So this is 20%. Yes or no? This is 20%. The discount that the dealer gave is 8%. This is also known to us. What we have to find out is the profit made by the manufacturer. Right? Calculate the profit percentage of the manufacturer who sells the article to the dealer. So in these two, what's the profit percentage is the question. Yeah. Now understand, what do we do? Toffees are marked 50% above the manufacturing price. Let's assume the manufacturing price is 100 rupees. It is marked 50% above the manufacturing price, which means marked price is 150 rupees. Manufacturing cost is 100, marked price is 150, right? Discount is how much? 8%. See, discount is always given on the marked price only. Discount is 8%. 8% of what? 150. So calculate. Discount is 8% of 150. 8% of 150 will be what? 12 rupees. Implies what is the selling price? Selling price will be 150 minus 12. You don't have to write these steps. I'm just writing so that all of you can understand the calculation. So the selling price is 138. The cost price. Now we have to find the cost price. See, I know that the profit is 20%. Let's assume the cost price is C. Profit is equal to 20%. 20% of what? C, which is 0.2 C. Selling price SP is equal to 138. What is this 138? This 138 is cost price plus 20% of cost price, which is 0.C. C. Selling price is equal to cost price plus profit. Profit is 20% of cost price. So basically, C comes out to be 138 divided by 1 plus 1 plus 0.2, 1.2. Yes or no? So how much is C now? 138 divided by 20% more, right? I think if you take a 115, it will be 23. 115 plus 23 is 138. Correct. So cost price comes out to be 115. Calculation is your lookout. I'm sure you can do the calculation, right? 138 has to be divided by 1.2. 115. 115 plus 11.5 into 2, 23, 38. Correct. Cost price is 115. So we have found the cost price, 115. That's it. What is asking us to find out? What is the profit percentage of the manufacturer? See, manufacturer's cost is 100. Manufacturer's selling price is 115. Manufacturer's selling price becomes the dealer's cost price. So what is the profit? 15%. Yes or no? 100 to 115 is 15%. So option C is the correct answer. This is between these two values. This question mark that we have to find out is between these two values. 100 has become 115, meaning there is a profit of 15%. You're able to follow? Understand, this is manufacturing cost. This is cost price. Cost price for the dealer, meaning selling price for the manufacturer. You understand? Selling price of manufacturer is equal to cost price of dealer. This is the key. Okay? Dealer is not manufacturing, right? Somebody else is manufacturing it. So that person has spent 100 rupees. He sold it for 115 rupees, which means dealer bought for 115 rupees. Dealer sold for 138 rupees, but dealer marketed for 150 rupees. Right? That's how it has progressed. So option C, 15% is the answer. Please do not go by the length of the explanation. As usual, my same old favorite statement, right? It is explanation. When you do it yourself, having understood this. The only tricky part here is the mark price is on the manufacturer's price. Mark price is not based on cost price. Mark price is based on manufacturer's price. If you miss on that point, like how I missed it initially, right? You will goof up. So read the question carefully, get that. There is a two-level distribution here. I mean, it's not straight. It's not just from dealer to the customer. It is from manufacturer to dealer to customer, right? Should we go for the next one? Let's take up the next one. On your screens now. Vijay has asked me a question, 50% more mark price for which it is? For dealer or manufacturer? Neither for dealer nor for manufacturer. Mark price is always for the customer. The customer will see 50% up mark price. Alright? All right, you've got 1 minute for this. I'm sure this is not a very complex one. All of you try it out. I'll join you back in one. Got it? I think many of you have mentioned that this was an easy one. Let's quickly take it up. I think option E, 5:8 is what most of you have got. So let's solve this now. Here we go. On pastries, dealer A marked 60% above its cost price and dealer B marked 50% above its cost price. If the cost price of both the dealers are the same, then what will be the ratio of profit earned by dealer A to that of dealer B on pastries? Simple. Pastries, we are talking about pastries. Dealer A gave 25% discount, dealer B gave 12% discount, right? So A versus B, let's do the calculation, right? Cost price, 100, 100, he has mentioned here, right? Cost prices of both the dealers are the same. Now, mark price, what is the mark price? Dealer A marks 60% above its cost price, dealer B marks 50% above its cost price. So for dealer A, it is going to be 160. For dealer B, it's going to be 150. Discount, how much is the discount? Dealer A gave 25% discount. Dealer B gave 12% discount. So find out the selling price. 25% discount here. So 75% is selling price, which is 120. 12% discount here. 12% of 150 is 18 rupees, right? So this is going to be 132 rupees. Selling price will be 150 minus 18. So what's the profit? Profit is 100 becomes 120. So profit is 20%. Achha, he's asking us to find out the ratio of profit earned. So percentage is not required. Profit is 20 rupees. What's the profit earned by dealer B? 100 rupees become 132 rupees. So profit is 32 rupees. What's the ratio? 20 is to 32 is 5 is to 8. So option E is the answer, right? Next question on your screens now. Quick. Option B, biscuits. Dealer B marked the price 50% above the cost price on all the articles. And all the articles have the same cost price, then on which article does he incur a loss? So let's take it up. So here's the question. Dealer B marked the cost price 50% above the cost price on all the articles. And if all the articles have the same cost price, then on which article does he incur a loss? On which article does he incur a loss? So for we are talking about dealer B here, right? Forget about dealer A. Forget about the green line, right? Now, what is the cost price? 100. See, all the articles have the same cost price. 100, 100, 100, 100 and 100. He marked all the articles 50% above the cost price. So 150 is the marked price, 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 150 is the marked price. This is the cost price, this is the marked price, right? So dealer B marked the price 50% above the cost price on all the articles, and all the articles have the same cost price. Then on which article does he incur a loss? See, he will incur a loss only if the selling price becomes less than 100. Yes or no? He will get a loss if selling price is less than 100. The selling price can become less than 100 when? See, the marked price is equal to 150. Let's say selling price is 100 or less than 100. I mean, selling price is equal to 99, for example. Less than 100. So nearest value is 99. Which means how much is the discount? Discount is 51 rupees. Yes or no? Mark price is 150. Only when the selling price becomes 99 or less than 99, meaning less than 100, then he is making a loss, because cost price is 100. If the selling price is more than 100, then it won't be a loss. If the selling price is less than 100, that will be a loss. So meaning discount should be 51. Whenever the discount is more than 51 or equal to 51, then is a loss. Now this 51% is equal to what percent discount? Discount percentage is equal to what? Discount is always on the mark price, right? 51 by 150 into 100. So it's like 1/3, right? 1/3, 33.33%. Meaning till the discount is 33.33%. 33.33 is actually 50. Let's assume the selling price is 100, let's say. Meaning the discount is 50. 1/3. Meaning if the discount is 33.33%, then selling price is equal to cost price. Yes or no? 100 rupees, right? Selling price and cost price both are equal. Meaning no profit, no loss. If the discount is more than 33.33%, then there is a loss. So I can say he will incur a loss if discount is greater than 33.33%. Now just check for which articles the discount is more than 33.33%. For cake, we are talking about dealer B, right? Blue line. 30%, he will not make a loss. Forget about this. 8%, 12%, 22%. Only in case of biscuits, where his discount is more than 33.33. You see, 35% is greater than 33.33%. That's why only on biscuits he will make a loss. Right? Assuming the cost price is 100 for all the articles, meaning mark price is 150 for all the articles. If the selling price is 100 rupees, which is equal to the cost price, the discount should have been 33.33%. Now for a person to make a loss, selling price should be less than cost price. That can happen only when the discount is more than 33.33. And the only article where the discount is more than 33.33, you see, is this, biscuits, blue line. So option B is the answer. Clear? And I'm glad that most of you have got the right answer here. Option B. Marishwari, Ravi, Bhanu, I cannot understand your username here. PH14MSCS. Then Shahnawaz, Vidyarajan, Sajid, Nilab, Girish, Lakshman, Neeraj, Anubrat, Nirmal, Dolvin Shekhar, Gokul, Amit, Ashok, Pavni, Kiran, Divya. Good. I'm feeling glad that all of you got the right answer, right? Option B. Madhu, by the way, said E. But I'm sure you have understood the concept now. So let's move to the next one. Let's take something. Shall we go for the next one? No confusions here, right? Oh, I hope all of you follow the same method, right? Or did you do something else? Doing calculations for each one is a waste of time. If any, let me find out how many of you have done it that way. I forgot to check actually. I told you how to find out whether we'll make a loss or profit just based on discount value. How many of you actually wasted your time by doing the individual calculations? Please raise your hands. Okay, raising your hand won't help me. You have to say, I wasted my time. You should say, I followed a stupid solution. So tell me stupid versus smart. I think this is the regular fund, right? Did you do a stupid solution or a smart solution? Stupid is finding out the value for each case. Smart is finding out that the discount should be more than 33.33% for the loss. Gokul says, I calculated for each. So Gokul, stupid solution. Who else has done the stupid solution? Tell me quickly. Anand Kumar says, why did we take selling price as 100? We took selling price as 100, Anand, because we want to see when we will break even. And less than that will be loss. Girish did stupid. Tushyan did a smart solution. Okay. Preet says, I didn't. Now, I didn't means what? I didn't do the stupid solution or I didn't do the smart solution. Just comment stupid or smart. Don't say I didn't do or I do. I did, because that will confuse me. Milan followed a stupid solution. Okay. Neeraj smart. Dalvin smart. Amit smart. Dipankar smart. Ashok done stupid. Hazra did a stupid calculation. Divya says, I calculated only for one and then it compared. Good. So guys, there's a lot to learn. I mean, all those who have done this stupid solution, right? This is what will save your time in the exam. Yeah. Anand says, I just saw which was the maximum discount and marked the answer. That's not stupid. That's, what is the superlative of stupid, by the way? I have to contact Sylvia. She will only be able to help me with this vocabulary. What is the superlative? What is something more than stupid? That's not stupid, Anand. That's more than stupid. Finding out the one maximum and marking that the answer is not the way to do it. Sajid says, I assumed only 35% may be less than cost price. That's also, more than stupid. Vidya says, I calculated only for 30% and marked 35 as the answer. So there, Vidya, you are taking a risk. I mean, I would say you are lucky because 30 and 35 you could identify easily. But then let's say if 30% is also resulting in a loss, then you have to check further, right? Will 25% result in a loss or not? Okay. So be careful. Let me present the next question now. This has been picked up from the discussion forum actually. It was posted by Raman Lakshmi. Actually a question on case study. Some data is given to you, raw data, you have to fine tune it and then answer the questions, right? And it's important given that SBIPU exam is coming up. So I thought it's relevant that I solve it in the session today itself without waiting for the doubts clarification session. Okay, so I'll present this to you all. This is about 6,500 students who are from different majors, different streams in a college. So I'll present this to you, give you about 5 minutes to first work on the data and then also show you the questions so that you can answer it easily. So presenting the data to you all, work on this data, right? You know what needs to be done, right? Fine tune the data, make a table out of the data, and then you can answer the questions easily. So 5 minutes is what you have for working out on the data. Your clock starts now. I'll present the questions after a few minutes. In the meanwhile, I want all of you to work on the data and make a simple table out of it, right? It says 6,500 students from arts wing of a college, 21% have majored in psychology, 12% in English, 15% in politics, 7% in philosophy, and 10% in history. And then there are combinations. So try it out. Done? Okay, let me present the questions to you all very quickly. 4 questions. I'm sure you can answer them easily once you have done the table. Sorry. $780 is the answer for the first one, what most of you have got. Second, third, fourth also you can answer quickly so that I can go back to the data and then start solving it. 1495, okay. Pooja says 1495, but somebody says 975. So this is for the second one, I guess. 2080 is not there in the options. Maybe fifth option, none of this. 2080, none of these. Okay, let me go back to the data, solve it now. I think you guys have tried it enough. So let's just go back. Here's the question. See what it says. Study the following data carefully and answer the questions given below. Out of 6,500 students from the arts wing of a college, 21% of the total number of students has, actually this should be have, I guess, right? Anyway, 21% of the students have majored only in psychology. 12% of the total number of students has majored only in English literature, and 15% of the total number of students has majored only in politics. 7% of the total number of students has majored only in philosophy, and 10% of the total number of students have majored only in history. So basically we are talking about 5 different streams here, right? Psychology, then we have English literature, then we have politics, then we have philosophy, and we have history. Right, and percentages have been given. 21% in psychology, 12% in English, 15% in politics, 7% in philosophy, and 10% in history. Remember, the keyword only is important. 21% have majored only in psychology. 12% have majored only in English literature. 15% of the total students has majored only in politics. 7% have majored only in philosophy, which means they have got no other subject in their stream, right? And 10% have majored only in history. Now comes the overlapped percentages. 8% has majored in both psychology and philosophy. 4% has majored in history as well as politics, right? History as well as politics. So this is again 2 subjects. And 11% has majored in English literature as well as politics. 9% of the total number of students has majored in psychology and English literature, and 3% of the total number of students has majored in history and philosophy. So I think all percentages there. Yeah. So if I add the percentages, what happens? 21% plus 12%, the only percentages basically. 21 plus 12, 33, 33 plus 15 is 48, plus 7 is 55, plus 10 is 65. Yeah, total 100% I guess. So basically simple distribution, there is no complexity at all. You see 21 plus 12 33 plus 15 48 plus 7 55 plus 10 65 plus 8 63 plus 4 67 plus 11 78. Sorry, hold on, I think I've missed something. 21 plus 12 33 plus 15 48 plus 7 55 plus 10 65 plus 8 73 plus 4 77 plus 11 88 plus 9 97 plus 3 100. So very straight distribution, right? I think we don't have to even do the table part there. I mean, let me just go back and see the questions. What is the total number of students majoring in English literature? Total majoring in English literature. So understand, he is not saying only in English literature. He says what is the total number of students majoring in English literature. If he says total majoring only, if the word only is used in the question, then you have to straight away come to 12%, because 12% have majored only in English literature. But there in the question, he has not used the word only. So we have to consider all the possible students who have done English literature. So 12% here. Then if you look at the combinations, this is psychology and philosophy, this is history and politics, so not considered. This 11%, English and politics. 11% have done English and politics. 9% have done psychology and English literature again. So this 9 also has to be added. And 3% have done history and philosophy. So what are the numbers which have got English in it? 12 plus 11 plus 9. 12 plus 11 plus 9. So 12 plus 11, 23 plus 9, 32, right? So 32% is the answer. 32% of what? 6,500. This should be 32% of 6,500. So I think 30% is 1950 and 2% is, yes or no? Just go back. Am I taking the right numbers? 12% here, 11% in English and politics, 9% in psychology and English. Yeah, so 20 plus 12, 32. 32% of 6,500. So what is 32% of 6,500? 1800 plus 1950 and 2% is 130. So 2080 should be the answer. This should be equal to 2080, which is option 5, none of this. Next question. How many students have majored only in politics? This is a straight question. Remember, here the word only was not used, but here he says how many have majored only in politics. Only in politics is a direct percentage. Only in politics. See, 15% of the total have majored only in politics. 15% is the answer. 15% of what? 6,500. So this should be 15% of 6,500. So that is like 650 plus 325, 975. Simple. Option 2. What is the ratio of number of students majoring in philosophy to the number of students majoring only in psychology? Philosophy versus only psychology. There is a difference, right? Only psychology is very clear. How many are only psychology? See, 21% only psychology. So the second part of this ratio is 21%. What is the first part is the question. First part is what? Philosophy. Majoring in philosophy. It is not only philosophy. It is philosophy without the word only. So all the possible philosophy numbers have to be considered. Let me use a different color so that you don't get confused. Philosophy. Philosophy is what? One second. Let's say philosophy we will show in blue, right? Philosophy, all the possible philosophy numbers. So 7% philosophy, right? Then 8% here have done psychology and philosophy both, right? Then history, politics, English, politics, psychology, English, history, philosophy. You understand? So philosophy means 7% is only philosophy, 8% is psychology and philosophy, 3% is history and philosophy. So philosophy total is 7 plus 8, 15, 15 plus 3, 18, right? 7, 8, 15, 15 plus 3, 18. So if you go back to the question, this becomes 18%. Now, I'll tell you where students commit a mistake. Philosophy versus only psychology. Only psychology is 21%. You will be wasting your time if you actually do this. 18% of 6,500 and 21% of 6,500. I'll tell you what some people do. They'll find out what is 18% of 6,500. Then they'll find out what is 21% of 6,500. They'll get some numbers. And then they will divide those numbers to get the ratio. Absolute waste of time. Why? 6,500 is common on both the sides, right? It gets cancelled directly. You should just take 18 is to 21. 18 is to 21 is very simple. 6 is to 7. 6 is to 7, option 3 will be the answer. Right? So save your time. Don't waste your precious time by, doing that stupid solution. Now the last question. What's the last one? students majoring in history are approximately what percent of the total number of students majoring in politics. So this is a percentage concept, right? X is approximately what percent of Y, right? Is approximately what percent of, approximate calculation, right? X is what percent of Y, X by Y into 100. This is X, this is Y. So we have to do X by Y into 100. X is what percent of Y, X by Y into 100. Now what is X actually? X is students majoring in history. What is Y? Total number of students majoring in politics. The words only have not been used. So all history versus all politics. All history versus all politics. So let's find out all history first. Let me use red color, all history. All history. All history meaning only history plus other histories also. So history, where is history? 10% here, history. Right, majored only in history. Then what are the other combinations of history? 4% is history and politics. This is English and politics, psychology and English. 3% also is history and philosophy. So history will be 10 plus 4 plus 3. 10 plus 4, 14. 14 plus 3, 17. So this is 17%. What is Y? Politics. Politics. Let me do politics in green. Meaning I am not doing politics. Let me find out numbers of politics in green. So politics is what? 15% here total, only politics. Then in combinations we have politics, this 4%. Remember, this 4% will go for history as well as for politics. So you have to consider it in both the places. Doesn't mean that because 4% is already taken for history, we should not take it for politics. The same 4% guys will be counted twice. Once in history, once in politics. So 4% here in politics. And then this is English. This 11% will be counted in politics. English and politics. 9% is psychology, English. 3% is history, philosophy. Yeah. So what are the politics numbers? 15 is only politics. 4 is a combination of politics. 11 is a combination of politics. So 15 plus 4 plus 11. 15 plus 4, 19. 19 plus 11, 30. So this comes out to be 30. Now do the calculation. Again, same important point, right? Do not waste your time by finding out 17% of 6,500 and 30% of 6,500, because these two anyway get cancelled in numerator and denominator. So directly take the factors 17 and 30 into 100. Now this is roughly 18, right? Approximately 18. 18 by 30 is 6 by 10. 6 by 10 is how much? 60%. Strictly speaking, 57.77%. Something less than 60. You understand this? See, 18 by 30 into 100. So this is like 3 into 6, 3 into 10, zeros get cancelled, 60. 18 by 30 is 60%. 17 by 30 should be less than 60%. This should be less than 60%. Again, slightly less than 16%, not so much less. So 48, 61, 45, 52 are cancelled. Closest is 57. So option 4, 57% will be the answer. So I think easy one. It should not take more than 2.5 minutes in my view to answer all the 4 questions, right? I mean, it looks to be complex because there's so much of data and all, but raw data, the best part is you don't have to actually worry about, what we do in set theory, right? Venn diagrams. You have to draw 3 circles. Directly the percentages are given. You just have to pick up the right percentage values and do the calculations. The only thing that you have to be careful about here is the word only. Is only given in the question or not given in the question. If I say I have done only electrical engineering, meaning I have done only electrical, nothing else. If I say I have done electrical engineering and civil engineering, so I have done both electrical and civil. So the word only plays a key role. Yeah? I'm sure all of you have understood all the 4 questions there. So clear? Should we go for the next one? I think time is up. It's 8:05 already. This was supposed to be a 1.5 hour session till 7:30. So I think I can close. Or maybe I'll just take one more question before we call it a day. Easy one, right? Yeah. So let's take one last question. This was posted by Komal. Now I am taking this up. This was again posted in the discussion forum. I am taking this question up because it's based on this concept of races. races. Two persons running together, somebody gives a head start, wins by so much time and all that. So this concept is also important, and you never know. I mean, such questions can be asked in competitive exams, right? So let's just take that one last question and then we will close it. So question is on your screens here. I'll give you at least a minute to try this out and then give you the solution. So it says in a race of 1 kilometer, A gives B a start of 100 meters and still wins by 20 seconds. But if A gives B a start of 25 seconds, B wins by 50 meters. The time taken by A to run 1 kilometer is. Your clock starts now. I hope all of you are trying this out. Answers have come in 500 by 29 versus 800 by 29. Waiting for more answers to come in. We have discussed such questions in the past, right? Questions on races have been covered in the past. All you have to remember is when he says A gives a start of 100 meters, it means in 1 kilometer race, A has to run 1 kilometer, but B has to run only 900 meters. Similarly, when it says A gives B a start of 25 seconds, A will start running 25 seconds later. Right? If B starts now, A will start 25 seconds later. That's the idea. Got it? Time taken by A to run 1 kilometer. I think 800 by 29 is the most common response, while 500 by 29 is what Shubham and Preet have got. Got it? Why don't you guys who have got 800 by 29 or 500 by 29 tell us what have you done? Let your friends understand, and let me also understand what have you done to get the answer. Okay, let's take it up. It's going to be a little, it'll involve a little bit of calculation, but that's how it is. I mean, I can't think of a shortcut formula. So let's try it now. See what it says. In a race of 1 kilometer, A gives B a start of 100 meters and still wins by 20 seconds. But if A gives B a start of 25 seconds, B wins by 50 meters. The time taken by A to run 1 kilometer is. Right? So he's talking about a race between A and B. The race is 1 kilometer long. Now, when and here he has given two different cases. In one case, A gives B a start of 100 meters. What does it mean by the statement A gives B a start of 100 meters? It means while A will start from the starting point, B will start 100 meters ahead of A, which means we will have an advantage. A gives B a start of 100 meters. You understand? A gives B a start of 100 meters and still wins by 20 seconds. So, although A ran 100 meters more than B, he will still win by 20 seconds. Right? A gives B a start of 100 meters. So look at this. This is the 1000 meter length, let's say. Starting point, this is the start line and this is the finish line. So what happens? A gives B a start of 100 meters. A is giving B a start of 100 meters. So A will be at the starting point only, here. But B will be 100 meters ahead. B will be at this point. So B has to cover only 900. While A has to cover the full 1000. Right? This is the start of 100 meters. That's the difference. This is what it means. Start of 100 meters meaning A has given B a start of 100 meters. So B will be placed 100 meters ahead of A. So see, A is at this point, starting point, but B is 100 meters ahead of A. So total distance for B to cover is only 900 meters. And total distance for A to cover is 1000 meters. So B has got an advantage, right? It's not actually a 1 kilometer race between both of them. A is saying, I am faster than you. You stay ahead of me, even then I'll win. That's the kind of challenge. And he actually wins. He still wins. You see, still he wins by 20 seconds. Still he wins by 20 seconds. So what does it mean? B is 100 meters ahead of A. Both of them start running together at the same time. As soon as the gun is fired, both of them start running. by the time A covers 1000 meters, B will not be able to cover 900 meters because A has 1 by 20 seconds. Meaning the time taken by A to cover 1000 meters is 20 seconds less than the time taken by B to cover 900 meters. Understand? Time taken by A to cover 1000 meters is equal to time taken by B to cover 900 meters minus 20 seconds. I'm measuring time in 20 seconds. So this is time. Time taken by A to cover 1000 meters is 20 seconds lesser than time taken by A to cover 900 meters. That's what it means, right? When A is at this finishing point, when A is here, when A reaches here, after 20 seconds B reaches. Yes or no? When you say I have won the race by 20 seconds, meaning what? You reach the finishing point, after 20 seconds the second person comes. When you reach after 20 seconds, second person comes. Which means A took time T, let's say, to cover this 1000 meters. B took 20 seconds more. Or A took 20 seconds less, either ways. B took 20 seconds more to cover 900 meters, not 1000 meters. So B has to cover only 900 meters, but still he takes 20 seconds more when compared to A who has to cover 1000 meters. Yes or no? So that's one case. Now, what do you understand from this? See, we know that time is equal to distance by speed. Let's assume the speed of A is A and speed of B is B. Right? So time is equal to distance by speed implies distance is 1000 meters, speed of A is, let's say, A, equals to distance of B is 900 meters, speed is B, minus 20. That's one equation. Now look at the second case. This is case 1. What happened in case 2? But case 2 now. This concept is very, very important, right? Case 2. What happens in case 2? If A gives B a start of 25 seconds. Now this time, instead of giving a start of 100 meters, he gives a start of 25 seconds. What does it mean? Same 1000 meter race only, but A will start running 25 seconds later than B. So it is like this now. This is the start. This is the finish line. 1000 meters. Right? Total 1000 meters. This time both A and B start together. A and B both are at the starting point only. I mean together as in from the same point. Earlier they were at different points. Now they are at the same point. But A gives B a start of 25 seconds. Meaning B will start running. 25 seconds later A starts running. Are you able to follow? So in this case definitely time taken by A is 25 seconds. I mean B will run 25 seconds more than A. You're able to follow? Like for example, B started running at 8 o'clock. A will start running at 8 o'clock in 25 seconds. And B wins by 50 meters. B wins by 50 meters. B wins by 50 meters. What does it mean? Winning by 50 meters means it means when B is at the finishing point, when B reaches the finishing point, A is 50 meters behind. Let's say B dash and A dash are their end times. So when B is at 1000 meters, A was only at 950 meters. 50 meters behind. So we can say B won by 50 meters. So B says, see, I am at the finishing point. I have reached 1000 meters. B was found to be at 950 meters. So B was 50 meters behind. That's what it means when you say B wins by 50 meters. Right? B wins by 50 meters. But one more point to be noted is, while the difference is 50 meters, B ran for 25 seconds more. Because B was given a start of 25 seconds, right? B started 25 seconds earlier than A. Meaning, time taken to cover 1000 meters by B is 25 seconds more than time taken by A to cover 950 meters. Similar equation. Time taken by B to cover 1000 meters is 25 seconds more. By 20 seconds more than the time taken by A to cover 950 meters. Yes or no? B ran for 25 seconds extra. He started at 8 o'clock. B started at 8 o'clock and 25 seconds. Meaning first 25 seconds only B was running. So those 25 seconds have to be considered. And after that, when B reached 1000 meters, A was only at 950 meters. So whatever time they took is this. So B covered 1000 meters in so much of time, which has got two parts, 25 seconds first alone running, and then time taken by A to run 950 meters. I hope you have understood this. These equations are very, very important. Whatever we have written here in the first case and whatever we have written here second case. Here time taken by A to cover 1000 meters was 20 seconds less than time taken by B to cover 900 meters. because B was given a head start of 100 meters, B ran only 900 meters, but still A took lesser time. In this case, B was given a head start of 25 seconds, meaning he started 25 seconds earlier than A and covered 1000 meters, but B could cover only 950 meters whenever he but A could cover only 950 meters whenever he started. Now same thing, what is time? Time is equal to distance by speed. Distance is 1000 by speed is B, equal to, here the distance is 950, speed of A is A, plus 25. This is the second equation. Two equations and two variables. Can you solve? Yes. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. Two equations and two variables you have to solve. And you have to find out what? You have to find out the time taken by A to run 1 kilometer. Time taken by A to run 1 kilometer meaning what? Time taken by A to run 1 kilometer. Time is equal to distance by speed. So you have to find out what is distance is 1000 meters by speed is A. 1000 by A is equal to what is the question? You're able to follow? 1000 by A is equal to what? That's what you have to find out. Time taken by A. See, what he's asking us to find time taken by A to run 1 kilometer. Time is equal to distance by speed. So 1000 meters, speed is A. 1000 by A is equal to what? Meaning this part. We know that 1000 by A is 900 by B minus 20, but what is B? B is not known. So two equations and two variables. You have to first solve for A and B and then find out what is 1000 by A. Now solving these two equations is a little, see, don't go by length of explanation. Whatever I explained so far is very quickly needs to be done. Once you understand the concept of races, you will be able to frame these equations quickly. Now solving this is going to be a little tricky because the variables are in the denominators. If the variables are in the numerators, then it becomes easy. Here the problem is variables are in denominators. Yes or no? So one way to deal with such equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2, is that if you remember in boats and streams we had a problem where speeds were in the denominators. So what did we do? See, we can assume that 1 by A is equal to A and 1 by B is equal to B. Now equations will become easy if you solve it like this. This is an assumption. Assume 1 by A is equal to A and 1 by B equals to B. We have used this technique in one of the questions on boats and streams. If you have watched the videos, you would know what the technique is. What videos? Time and distance videos. This is also a concept of time and distance only. So 1 by A equals to A, 1 by B equals to B, substitute here. Equations will look easier, right? Now this will become 1000 A equals to 900 B minus 20. What is this equation? 1000 B is equal to 950 A plus 25. Now solving equations would be easier. I mean, these are like simpler equations now, linear equations. Solve for A and B. Once you solve for A and B, you will get what is, here you will get small a small b, then you have to get capital A capital B, and then substitute in the equation 1 to get the answer. So let's get small a small b. Basically find out what is B. Once you find out what is B, you can substitute here and find out 1000 by A. So solve the equations. See, 1000 A equals to 900 B minus 20. Here 1000 B equals to 950 A minus plus 25. Let's say this is equation, I am saying 3 and 4. You have to solve equation 3 and 4. I am short of space here. It may get a little cluttered, but so I am cutting down the number of steps. So what can we do to simplify? What do we want? We want the value of B, right? Primarily B is important because if I get B, I'll get this capital B and then I can substitute to get the answer. So to get B, you have to eliminate A. Calculation is going to be a little tricky. To eliminate A, I'm just seeing how to make it simple. So here we have 950A equals to 1000B minus 25. Here we have 1000A equals to 900 minus 20. So how to eliminate A? This is 1000A, this is 950A. As such, we can divide this by 25 and we can divide this by 20 so that it looks simpler. Shall we do that? I generally don't prefer that, but since there is no, see, common factor here is what? I mean, if I have to simplify, one thing is multiply equation number 3 by 95, multiply equation number whatever this we have got by 100. So this becomes 95,000A, this also becomes 95,000A, and then they can be eliminated. But that looks cluttered, no? So let's divide this by 20. So 20 is what, 50 times here, 50A. This is 45 times, and this is 1 time. So 50A equals to 45B minus 1. Divide this by 25. 25, how many times? 4 9 36 plus 2 38. This is 40. This is 1. So 38A equals to 40B. It will still look complex only, but numbers will become smaller. This is 50A equals to 45B minus 1. You can do one more thing. We can actually get the ratio of A and B. See, this one and this one can be equated to get the ratio of A and B. From that ratio we can solve. I think I'll have to clear some part of it to do the equations now. We should have ideally divided equation 3 and equation 4. I think that will eliminate A directly, and then B can be simplified. Let me do that. Sorry, I didn't get that idea. Let me just do that. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm just clearing it up. Let's divide equation 3 by 4. Things will become simple. Sorry about this lengthy calculation. As such, calculation is your lookout. You can just do it, but let me finish. What did we get? 950 equals to 1000B minus 25, right? So let me divide. This is, let's say, equation 5. Equation 5 and 4 both are same, but divide 3 by 5. Equation 3 by equation 5. What do we get? 1000A by 950A equals to 900B minus 20 divided by 1000B minus 25. You understand? 1000A by 950A equals to 900B minus 20 by 1000B minus 25. So this is like 50 into 20. This is 50 into 19. A and A gets cancelled. Now cross multiply. So what do we get? 20 into 1000B minus 25 equals to 19 into 900B minus 20. I am sure all of you have understood what needs to be done, right? Now this is simple equation. You will get small b from this. You will get small b from this. From that small b, find out capital B. Capital B will be 1 by B. Substitute that capital B here, you will directly get 1000 by A, because that's what is required. 1000 by A is required. So 3 more steps. Yeah. Let me do this. So 20 into 1000B, 20,000B, 19 into 900B. How much is that? 19 into 9 basically. Yeah, 17,100. So 20,000 minus 17,100. That is 2,900. So what do we get? 2,900B equals to 19 into 20 is 380 minus 380 basically, and 20 into 25 is how much? 500. So 500 minus 500 minus this is 19 into 20, 380, 120. You're able to follow. 20 into 25 is minus 500. Goes on that side, becomes plus 500. Plus 500 minus 380, 120. So small b is 120 by 2,900. Which implies capital B is 2,900 by 120. Now substitute this value in this place. See, again, I don't want to solve A first and then 1000 by A. 1000 by A is directly known to us here, right? So I can say 1000 by A is equal to, I'm writing it here, 1000 by A. Let me just get some space. Yeah, we want to find out time taken by A to cover 1000 meters. So which is 1000 by A. From equation 1, we know 1000 by A is 900 by B minus 20. So 900 by B. What is capital B? 2,900 by 120. So 2,900 into 120 minus 20. Simplify this again. So 9 into 120, 9 into 120 is 1080. 29 into 20 is 580. 1080 minus 580 is 500. 500 by 29. That's your answer. I know a little calculation intensive, but option A is the final answer. Option A, 500 by 29 seconds is the final answer, right? Everything will be in seconds. I'm sure this simplification can be done much faster and much neater. I mean, instead of framing these equations, maybe if you frame the distance related equations. See what we have done, time related equations. If you do maybe distance related equations, you can get the answer faster, right? So that way you just work out, but the concept is this, whether you use time based equations, these are all time based, right? This is a time based equation. So maybe either frame a distance based or a speed based equation to see if you can get the answer faster, but the concept remains the same. See, what is the most important part here? This whole idea of what is head start and in how much time who is finishing, what is very important. Okay, I'm sure this is not the best way to solve this question. Concept still the same, but maybe we can improvise on the equations, the type of equations that we use. So you can try it out now. I leave it to you. Answer is option A, 500 by 29 seconds. All right, and on that I think we will close it here. It's 8:30. We'll meet again in your next refresher session every Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and we'll meet in the doubt clarification session on Saturday. Okay. Yeah, but answer is 500 by 29. So good. Those who all have got 500 by 29, they've got it right. Just see if you can, make it better. I'm sure we can improvise on the solution part there, but the concept is this. So thank you once again for joining us. We'll meet again on the Wednesday at 6 p.m. with your next session on a subject refresher, which is Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. By the way, reminding you again, tomorrow at 4 p.m. you have your live session on 75-day study plan for the SSC CGL 2018 examination. So make sure that you join us at 4 p.m. tomorrow for the 75-day study plan, and also invite your friends to join our portal, because this session is open for all, right? Irrespective of whether you are a talent sprint student or not, we have the 75-day plan for you. Just make sure that you follow the study plan, and you have a plan. I mean, whether you follow a 75-day plan by us or by anybody else, doesn't matter, but you have to have a strategy and a plan so that you can make the best use of the limited time that you have. All right. So see you all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Until then, keep practicing and do take very good care of yourselves. Bye.